Broadcasting on Spice FM every weekday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. In the room is Eric Latif, CT Muga, and Ndu Oko. COVID-19 came and hit, and we've discussed it very many times. It impacted very many communities, especially in the urban areas and also in the rural areas. And we've raised the issue of social protection very many times, asking ourselves, what is it that the government has done and is doing to cushion people from the bad effects of COVID-19, especially on their livelihoods? We've asked also ourselves, what is it that various communities are doing to help one another? And we have seen the emergence of very many people who have come out to say, you know what, from the little that I have, I want to share. I want to share with a friend, I want to share with a neighbor, I want to share with somebody that I don't know, but somebody who will greatly benefit from getting a meal today, or being able to feed their family, or being able to clothe their children. This has happened because this is a spirit that we have as Kenyans. In fact, it's this same spirit that led the president to form the COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund and created a board for it. It's chaired and led by eminent personalities in the corporate world. It's been doing a lot of work on this. We'll discuss this another day, but it's about people coming out together for one another to help each other. There are many organizations that have run campaigns of saying, you can send something to us and then we'll distribute it to other people. Others just started like that, just accidentally. They received such overwhelming support that it has grown into something bigger. People like Cherotich Sei, whom we've spoken with here on the show. There's a concert that's going to be held on the 7th and the 8th of November, and this is called the Jenga Jirani Charity Festival, which is geared towards doing the same, raising money so we can help vulnerable communities impacted by COVID-19. This is being spearheaded by the Jonathan Jackson Foundation in partnership with various other organizations, including the Standard Group. The chairman of the Jonathan Jackson Foundation is called Jonathan Jackson. Surprise, surprise. He joins us. He's with us on the line. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. Nice to be on the line with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us this morning. Just tell us more about the Jonathan Jackson Foundation before we talk about the Jenga Jirani Festival.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. So I started it about a year and a half ago. I was born and grew up here in Kenya. My parents were working with AIC Church, and my mother started a charity working in Kibera, helping women to make products, and then she would sell them for them, and so that they could earn a living and put bread on their table. And so I was with my mother when at the age of 6 in Kibera, and so that's where I sort of had the training and the start and the understanding of the need there and the dire situation. And then I did my degree in London. I then did my business in Europe. I've then taken the profits and the money I made in Europe and brought it back and investing into Kenya. And I decided that I really should get involved in helping some CBOs and charities in Kenya. But in the end, I decided it was best to set up my own charity foundation, which we could be custodians for change. You know, there's so many amazing, Kenyans are, as you said, we really have a heart for each other, and we really do great things to help each other. And there's so many CBOs in the communities helping each other, doing things. So I said, well, look, let me come in and try and not to repeat what's happening, but to help and support what is going on there. For example, one great example I have is we found this great Kenyan with a great heart to help. He was teaching some 5 youths how to cut hair, and then he said he would give them a certificate and hope they would find a job. And I said, well, look, rather than doing 5, do 20, and when they have completed, we'll give them the shears and the scissors and the combs necessary to start their own business. And now he's done over 200 youth. All of them have gone off and started their own little businesses, and they're earning income and able to put bread on the table. And so this is really the kind of activity that we do as a foundation, is more economic support trying to get helping people to come together. We've done training courses, we've helped car washes, we've helped kiosks, and many other small projects in order for youth groups, and mainly we're working with youth groups and women groups to be able to get a sustainable economic income, because it doesn't work forever to be just handing out food. And of course, during this, and we also bought a football club, and we bought Nairobi City Stars, which, as you know, we were the champions this year for the Super League, and we now are in the Premier League. And that has been a great access into the communities and has opened up doors for us. And during this Corona period, we've been actually, we decided we can't work with the youth groups on a group basis because of the restrictions. We decided, okay, let's go and help deliver food, buy food and deliver food.
Yep.
So we've now delivered over 2.1 million meals over the last 6 months. And we are so grateful for the various organizations that we have worked with and cooperated with, and in particular, Kabamba. And I'm sure you know Kabamba, the youth group who work with schools all over Kenya, and they've been an amazing assistance. So we have partnered together to start this Jenga Jirani charity festival.
Okay, so Jenga Jirani then, essentially, Jonathan, was born out of the problems that you saw that COVID had presented?
That's correct. I mean, we had the Jonathan Jackson Foundation. It was long-term sustainable projects that we aim for, and sport as well, because we do both. We've actually built our first basketball court in Katina in Kawangware, and we plan to build a lot more basketball courts. But because of the Corona effect of people losing their jobs and not able to afford to even have food on the table, we realize that this is a critical situation, and we really need to be out there to help. So as I said, we've been in the communities, over 60 different communities in Kenya, and we've delivered over 240 tons of food.
Mr. Jackson, could you just outline for us some of the outstanding achievements that this initiative has actually brought to the fore?
For me, what has touched me most is the fact that two points actually. One is that when we were delivering the food, people were very grateful. But then when we worked with Kabamba Trust, and we would go in with them, and they would mentor and pray with the sick, and we're delivering food to the really sick, the really vulnerable people, and we spend 3 to 4 days identifying them. We get a list from the local community and from the local chief of all the really sick people, and then we use our football players, because our football players come from all of these communities, to go house to house to check that the person really is sick and really elderly and really vulnerable. And we then have a short list, and from that short list we then do the distribution. And so we actually, sometimes we do it in a group, sometimes we do it mostly house to house. And actually, when you actually go into someone's house who's really vulnerable, really desperately hungry, and you come in and give them food and you pray with them and you actually show care to them, the tears that come from both sides, our side and their side, is immense. And it's what's touched me most. And really, it's the value, of caring for each other and really basically being a Jenga Jirani. And the second thing, I think the biggest impact that I've seen and what we have done is that the youth groups that we have been working with previously have been helping us doing the distribution. So I've been supporting them and giving them even an income to help us do the distribution. And they have been so appreciative of other people coming in and helping and supporting. And we've had a lot of the artists who have come in, who are going to be in this festival on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and all the top artists have come on board, and they came with us and helped to do the distribution, and the appreciation from the communities that that the neighbor has come and help them has been immense, and so much so that they've even stood up and and there's one old lady who had who had got her sack, and these sacks of food are really heavy. They last a family of 5 for 10 days, and she had got she'd saved 50 shillings to be able to take the food on a motorbike back to her home. And she stood up and said, "I'm going to give my 50 shillings to the Jenga Jirani initiative because you're doing such an amazing job. We all need to help and support each other." And my point is, if she can do that, then we all can do it. We really all can do it.
So tell us about this festival. It's going to take place on the 7th and the 8th of November. Where is it going to take place, and what's the order of events? Who's participating in it, and then how do we participate in it as well?
So the order of events is that it's an online festival, but we have a great relationship with the Standard Group. We appreciate that, and they're going to show part of it on TV on KTN Home between the 7 o'clock news and the 9 o'clock news on Saturday and Sunday. And but it's an online. You view it by going to the website jengajirani.org, and you can then, and there are 3 stages, and this is what's so interesting about this. It's not just a one concert. There are 3 stages running simultaneously. We have the main stage with all the top artists singing there, and then we have the gospel stage, which Kabamba are running, and then we have a lifestyle stage. And so we've got the main stage is the MC for the main stage is going to be MC Jesse. So he's going to really run that. That will be amazing. Kabamba are running the Kabamba stage, and we've got Farid Kamani, who's going to be running the lifestyle stage. And so we've got a really amazing mixture of content. It's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, it's going to be very highly entertaining, and very, very professionally produced. So it's going to be a great thing, and we're very happy too that Betty Charlo will be there, and she will be in between the different stages. So you go onto the website and you'll just and you will see all 3 stages. You can then click onto one, and if you get bored with one, you can switch over to another one. There's a list of all the programs there. There's a list of all the artists there. And as we said, we have over 55 artists.
That's quite a number. So as I'm watching all this, Jonathan, then how do I contribute to the initiative?
So again, you can either go to the website and you will see there the donate button. But we're very pleased to say is that AMREF have come on board because fiduciary management is really, really important. So AMREF have given us a pay bill number, and so all the money is collected into the AMREF account. And the pay bill number is very, very easy. It's 344555. It's 344555, and the name is Jenga Jirani. So it's a very, very easy one to remember. And what will happen is that we have set up an advisory committee comprising of the Red Cross, Kabamba, the AMREF, an AMREF representative, and of course ourselves, to be able to make sure that all of this money that comes out is going to go to not only to our initiative, but what we have done is that we've decided to go across Kenya, and we've actually now linked up with 15 different CBOs who are doing similar work as we are across the whole of Kenya. And if you go to the website, you will see all of those beneficiaries have been listed there and named there. And we have actually decided to really concentrate on 3 pillars. So this is the 3 pillars that we're trying to support. And one is food distribution. The second is economic sustainable programs to help people get back on after this corona period who've lost their jobs, help them to get back onto their feet. And the third one, as you know, there's been a huge spike and an increase in pregnant teenagers. So across the country. So we're working with those 15 different charities from every region of Kenya, And so this money will be distributed across the whole of Kenya under the guidance of that supervisory committee, and all the money being held by an AMREF account.
Jonathan, I mean, in all of this, it started as a result of a response towards COVID. How far would you like to see this go? I mean, what would be the plan in the coming years? Even as COVID may go or still be here, what would be the plan as you go forward in terms of helping the more vulnerable in society?
Well, thank you. This Jenga Jirani is amazing. It's amazing Kenyan spirit, and amazing how the Kenyans are coming together. And it really is a coming together. And if you see the artists who come on the distributions with us, and Lady B and others like that, there is a real spirit of let's come together. The government have tried their part. We're not quite sure exactly of what happened to all the money that they raised. But what we wanted to show is, look, and as we all know, corruption is really bad in Kenya. And the biggest problem with corruption is that we lose trust in each other. We've lost trust. And we want to try and see, let's come together as Kenyans. Let's try and start to trust each other. We need to trust each other for us to go forward. And all we're asking is for 100 shillings. Our request is just 100 shillings each, which of course for most of us is a tip to a waiter or a parking fee at a shopping center. It's very, very affordable and easy to do. And so we're just saying, please donate that 100 shillings. We will show you, we will come back and actually show you what we're doing with 100 shillings, helping all of these different CBOs across the whole of Kenya, supporting these 3 pillars. And we want this to become like a movement of Kenyans coming together, helping each other, and really Jenga Jirani, not just a one-time. But let's do it. Let's continue doing this. Let's go on into next year. Corona is not disappearing. The effects of Corona is not going to finish at Christmas. It's going to continue through to next year. And so we need to not only give food, we need to help people to have sustainable income and to give them jobs. And that's really what we want to do. And so we really ask Kenyans, please come together. Like that lady who gave her 50 shillings, her last 50 shillings. Please, let's donate 100.
So you see, the Kenyan spirit is that of giving, is that of helping one another. And it's a commendable job that Jonathan Jackson Foundation has been doing, plus all the others who have been working during this COVID-19 period to help those who are suffering. But questions will always come back into. So for how long, for example, can we expect the Jonathan Jackson Foundation and the others to be the ones that are helping these most vulnerable in the community? You talked about going into the different homes and finding somebody who is really, really sick and they don't have a meal. And yet we have government officials from that village level going all the way to the national level. Do you see any sort of involvement of government, even as you do your work, in them coming to say, all right, we like what you're doing, we can also support you in this and the other, or we can ask you to contribute to what we are working on as a policy or as programs to help completely sort out the people that you have been dealing with? Do you see government coming in?
Well, we have watched and we've asked, and I'm in the communities on a regular basis, and in all of the different communities across Nairobi with my team. And the only thing we have seen that the government have come in, they put in some cases wash hand stations so you can keep your hands clean, and also masks. They've also delivered some masks. But in terms of food, I've not heard of any direct government food distribution directly to the people in their homes. I've heard that there have been some food distributions to the local chiefs, but whether that food actually ever reaches the really vulnerable and really gets out there, I've not heard about it, and I've not seen it. And as I said, we've been very, very active in the communities, and we've now delivered over 2.1 million meals into all of these homes directly with Kabamba as our partners. And so, yes, we would love to see the Kenya government to be more active and helping and supporting delivery of food, because these people are really, really hungry. We go in there and they only have their neighbor comes and gives them ugali for breakfast, and that's all they eat all day. They don't have anything else, and and often they can go for days without food. And on medication, I have seen personally in these really very, very difficult situation in these homes where they've not had any medical assistance for even up to a year, and they can't even move out of their home, and there's nobody who can actually carry them to the hospitals. So the medical side, and it's something that I don't really know how to help, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Kathinji of AMREF, who are looking into how we can actually help on the medical side as well. But that's another long-term objective that we try to do. So yes, there are amazing organizations like AMREF and Red Cross and the Aga Khan Foundation and also the Rotary Group. All of them we are partnering with in one way or another and helping to try and support this. But what we are really, and what is amazing, what we're really wanting to support is the local Kenyan CBOs.
Talking of
Kenyan
local
agencies.
CBOs, do you then have perhaps a plan to cascade this really genuinely wonderful work to each and every county in the country?
Well, if you go to our website, jenga.jirani.org, you will see their beneficiaries, and there you will see 14 different organizations we've identified and partnering with across the whole of Kenya, in all the regions of Kenya. So the money that we will raise during this charity festival will actually be distributed across the whole of Kenya to these CBOs, and I tell you, they're amazing. I mean, we're very pleased with what we've done and humbled that we can actually do and help in Nairobi. But there are so many great Kenyan CBOs all over Kenya doing the same thing with an amazing heart to help their neighbor. And that's really what we want to do, is we want to bring all Kenyans together. Let's go and help each other. The problem we have today in the corona period is that agencies and companies are really suffered. No one's getting the income that they used to have.
Yeah.
And therefore it's very hard to get agencies to donate money, almost impossible to get companies to donate money. And that's the reason that drove us to go to this charity festival and saying, listen, we can't get money from the normal sources, which are company donations or agency donations. We as Kenyans, we need to come together to support each other in this hour of need. And that's really what we're crying out to. Please get your phone and go to your pay bill and do 344-555 and donate 100 shillings, just 100 shillings or more if you feel led to.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. And this is Jonathan Jackson. He's the chairman of the Jonathan Jackson Foundation, telling us about the festival that's going to be taking place on the 7th and the 8th of November online. It'll also be live streamed on KTN Home between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So just watch on those 2 days and you'll be able to see the festival and at the same time participate in what the Jenga Jirani Festival aims to do, which is contribute money, raise resources so that you can help communities that are in dire need in various parts of the country. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Jonathan, and we wish you a great day.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.